First of all, I hope everyone's enjoying Dallas, right? Yeah. Okay. As previously stated, my name is Sergio Jaimes. This past spring, I graduated from the National Academy of Finance from W.H. Adamson High School, home of the Fighting Leopards. So one of the most important experiences that I had as an app student, and this is true for many of us, is the internship that we went through our junior to our senior year. Initially, I joined the Academy of Finance just to fill my schedule, but I immediately took an interest in it. My finance teacher, which was Mr. Anderson, saw potential in me. I earned high grades in his class, and my community project eventually earned me the top student award. Later, I met Miss Christian, and she was my accounting teacher. She believed in me too, and she signed me up for what's known as the UIL competition, where I managed to be the accounting district champion 2 years in a row. So when I applied for my internship, Miss Christian recommended me for one of the really prestigious ones. So of course I was a little bit nervous that I wouldn't get it and all these things are going through my head. But Miss Christian told me, "I know you'll get the internship, baby." And she was right. I did get the internship. But it wasn't just me that inspired her confidence. It was the academy. She knew better than anyone that my academy prepared me to win. See, standing up here, I'm kind of a shy guy. You know, as the cool kids say it, I like to stay in my lane. And I remember being so nervous about the interview. One day we had the mock interviews in class. I specifically remember I gave probably my most shyest performance ever. It went really terrible. But a bad performance in a mock interview, that's how it's supposed to be, right? You do bad in a mock interview, so when it comes to the real thing, you do amazing. So my first day on the job, my supervisor, he brought me to my desk, and I noticed it's all decorated. I look, there's a donut, and there's a picture of an accordion. I know what you're thinking, a picture of an accordion, what does that have anything to do with work, right? So allow me to explain. I am part of a norteña band called Los Mandilones del Norte, and on weekends we go out and play. We play at weddings, consist of quinceañeras, stuff like that. And I had included in my cover letter that I was saving up to eventually buy a professional accordion. So the fact that they latched onto that made me feel right at home when I got there. Being an intern, I learned that they don't expect you to be a workaholic. They don't expect you to stay until 12 a.m. trying to get everything done. But they do expect a certain standard. But the academy prepares you to go way beyond it. I was placed in the customer service department. I wasn't necessarily on the phones, but I heard conversations. I analyzed their ratings and gave them their weekly stats. They came together each week to discuss where they did better, where they did worse. They set goals for the next week. I did what my supervisor told me. I brought a positive vibe to the workplace, and of course, I was never grouchy. I'll admit, that was probably my best summer ever. I got to know other interns, other associates. I got letters of recommendations for scholarships, for college, and I found a mentor, and even earned enough money to eventually buy that accordion that I wanted. And ever since, I tell you, my band has gotten really good. Ever since. So even as a musician, my biggest achievements have come through my involvement with the National Academy of Finance. More than anything, they've helped me to become something great for my family. I'm one of 6 kids, and my parents came to this country from Mexico because gangs were eventually taking over their hometown in Tiquicheo, Michoacan. When we initially got here, my parents, we were living in my uncle's living room until my father eventually managed to get a job in construction where he's worked for the past 20 years. My parents, they dream of, me and my siblings to get us exactly to where we are now. Even being here is an achievement on my behalf for them to acknowledge. My older brother and sister have already graduated from prestigious colleges, universities. Another sister is currently in college, and this fall I will be attending Stephen F. Austin University. And not only that, I still have 2 younger sisters currently in high school who are ready to follow my footsteps and do the same. For my parents to see this, it is truly a success story. I want to thank my Academy of Finance for these extraordinary opportunities that you have offered me, and not only me, but various other students.
I'm Kevin Fry. I'm a manager at Capital One, and it was my pleasure to host an intern from NAF Academy of Finance last summer. We don't choose our interns, but we do prepare for them, and we want to provide a worthwhile experience for whomever shows up. When an intern comes, they're usually really nervous, but what they don't realize that we are nervous too. For weeks, I counted down to the intern's arrival and worried, is this person going to get the best experience? Am I going to be able to teach this person what they need to learn? I had all the same insecurities as our interns typically have, and did my best not to show it. But ultimately, it's not about what our intern can do for us. The internship is for the student. I admit I was concerned about how much this person would need to be taught. Would I have to teach them how to use Excel? Would they even know where the start button was? But thanks to the NAF Academy, the technical skills were all there. In fact, our intern actually taught us a couple of tricks. Now, I want to tell you about the person that showed up at our customer service department on the campus of Capital One. We knew almost nothing about him. Well, one detail did stand out. He was in a band and was saving up for an accordion. Yes, Sergio Jaimes, who you all heard from this morning, is the intern we were fortunate to get. When Sergio arrived at Capital One, people liked him immediately. You could tell his heart was in it. He was sincere about wanting to learn about the business. I introduced him to all the managers, and their reaction was the same. He was so well-mannered, very polite, a little shy for sure. He was also kind, sweet. Anyone could tell he was raised right. The aspects of his personality were significant. I'm one of 8 managers in my department. Each of us is focused on how we can do our best. We each want to achieve our full career potential. It always feels good to earn credit for something that went well, or to earn a promotion based on our own recognized talents and strengths. In this way, it's really easy to be focused on yourself. What am I doing right? How am I succeeding? When Sergio came in, I actually felt that dynamic shift throughout the team. He became a unifying force for all of us. Sergio thought nothing of coming up to any one of the 8 of us to ask for guidance on the appropriate way to write a corporate email, for example. He was comfortable coming to any one of us to ask for work since it wasn't always handed to him. He approached us as the team, and we actually became a better team as a result. Instead of focusing on our own metrics and our own individual performance, we all came together on how to be there for Sergio. So although it is against my beliefs to hire interns for the purpose of getting something from them, this intern gave us something really valuable. Our first impression of Sergio was that he was such a good kid. Our last and current impression of Sergio is exactly the same. We appreciated having Sergio in our department and in our world. Sergio, thank you so much for all that you did. Thank you to the NAF Academy and to the loving family who raised him. This has been a terrific partnership, and we're eager to meet whoever's next.